Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Bigfork Valkyrie basketball on BFST Events here live at the Loyola Sacred Heart High School Sister Rita Mudd Activity Center as the Valkyries get ready to take on the Loyola Breakers here. Loyola 13-0 on the season. The Valkyries are 8-4, coming off a couple big wins in conference, and in a tie for first place in 7B with Thompson Falls. 406-270-7384. Let me know if you can hear me out there. It's James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikes and the Vals, with you from Missoula, Montana. And we're getting ready to get underway here from Missoula. Make sure we're broadcasting live, and it shows we are. And I know it says the Vikings, but it is Valkyries first today. And this pregame brought to you by His Biz Paint and Renovate. His Biz specializes in quality that looks the last. Whether it's painting, interior, exterior, or renovating, His Biz will get the job done in a timely manner. Visit hisbiz.us or call Hoagie at 270-1998 for all your paint, renovate, or plowing needs, and go Vikes. All right. Had a chance to talk with the head coach before the ball game, and Courtney Gunlock had this to say about her Valkyries last couple of games and going in to today's game against Loyola. All right, talking on the pregame show with head coach of the Valkyries, Courtney Gunlock. And Courtney, you head into this game today after two big conference wins last week. You took out Eureka at home, and then St. Ignatius or Mission at home as well. Talk about those two games.
Oh yeah, those are two big conference games that we knew we had to win to stay competitive, to hopefully still win the conference. And I thought we came out and played very well against Eureka, and the same against Mission. So I was very pleased with our girls' play and their effort.
Yeah, going into that game, you guys had beat Eureka previously up there handily, and then took care of business. You guys were tied, Thompson Falls, Eureka, and Bigfork, all with one loss each beating each other. So that knocks Eureka with two losses, and now you're in a tie with Thompson Falls, and they have the beat you, so they have the edge right now, but you still have a game against them.
Yeah, we do. It'll be actually senior night, our last game of the regular season, so that will obviously be a big game.
Well, talk about the play of your players, especially lately. What I've seen kind of taking over the game at times is the sophomore Emma Barrett.
Yeah, Emma's been playing really well. She's been playing very hard, aggressive, and she drives and attacks very well. And I'm very pleased with her defense, too. We just have to keep her out of foul trouble and keep her on the floor.
Yeah, I agree with that. And when she's doing that and driving, that's an opportunity for her to kick it out to Isabella Santasteven for a three-point shot, or dish it to Ansley inside. Now, talk about Isabella and Ansley and how their game, the last couple games, are going.
Yeah, I mean, I think Izzy's found her shot again. She's definitely made some real clutch threes for us in Eureka game for a momentum change, and Ansley is just our consistent player. You know, she's a great rebounder. She shut down Graves to 5 points that game. That's a huge defensive effort on her part, and, you know, she's always one of our leading scorers, so we rely on her heavily.
Yeah, she seems like being, especially when she's not necessarily scoring or others scoring, but her defense, and I think a big key for her is her rebounding, and it looks like she's getting just bigger in the middle, if you will, playing above your size. They say, you know, instead of being at one height, you're playing, you know, like you're 6 feet tall and being able to take things over.
Yeah, no, she does. She definitely plays taller than she is and bigger than she is, and she's played great defense all year and has been leading us in rebounds all year.
Another key is Audrey Benz, your defensive specialist. She interrupts things, usually guards their toughest player, and she's been playing really well. She doesn't score as much, doesn't necessarily have that outside shot, but she can drive and play defense. Talk about Audrey, who's just a junior.
Yeah, she's been battling a foot injury, but we feel like she's pretty healthy again. She's tenacious at defense, and we actually talked to her this week about being a shooter, and she's got a great shot. She just needs to have some confidence, and we need her to shoot out there.
Well, then another thing I see is the freshmen coming off the bench. You have Madison Chapius usually coming off first, Scout Nadeau, who's been playing really well, and Nevaeh Carlin. But I think I see it, Madison and Scout have really kind of fit into that varsity role, getting used to that.
Yeah, they're getting more experience. Every game I see more and more good things out of them. I think they're becoming a little less nervous. They kind of know their role on the team, and we rely on them heavily to come off the bench and help boost us scoring and defensively. And I've just been very impressed with them as freshmen in their play.
Well, to me, especially Mass, she's so quick and really can disrupt things, and that for you guys, it turns it over, and then you're able to run, on that when that happens.
Absolutely. And, the other thing I want to say is, Ashton McAnally continues to consistently be, the person that helps us take care of the ball, get the ball down against pressure. And I thought she had a big game against Eureka as well. And she's been playing hard and posting up hard and getting some good rebounds. And her and Ansley feed each other very well in there.
Yeah, that's the other person I want to talk about, Ashton, and you hit the nail right on the head. She is so steady, so consistent, reliable, and calm, and she should be. She's a senior. She's been playing, at the high school level for 4 years, so she, I think, is your calm person and can get the ball up the court and get it to the right person, and you're doing a great job.
Absolutely, yeah. I rely on her. She's a solid captain on our team. She always, she's not very vocal, but she leads by example.
Yeah, so that gets us to today's game, a rematch about a month ago on a Saturday up there. The number one ranked team in the state of Montana in girls. They have a lot of returners. They have a really good team in Loyola, but you gave them their toughest game of the year. You lost by 9, and in that game, I look back, it was 37-46. That's 11 in my math book, right? No, 46-37. That is 9. Okay. Anyway, but I thought you guys played them tough, and you had some opportunities, and that'll move into today's ball game. Talk about today's ball game and what you guys have to do specifically to have an opportunity against this team.
Yeah, Loyola, they're solid all around, and we have to play well. We have to play some of our best basketball. We definitely have to take care of the ball. They have a full court press that they put on dead balls, but they also trap and put pressure on rebounds. So we have to be ready to take care of the ball. We need to play our game. Sometimes we get real riled up with pressure like that, so we need to slow it down, play our game. We need to shoot well. And we need to play very good defense, and we need to shut down Delaney Walker, who is kind of their catalyst to their team.
Yeah, and she's just a sophomore, actually the coach's daughter. Mm-hmm. And this got a good team, so I'm looking forward to another good game. It was a really good game up in Bigfork just after Christmas, and a month later I know that they're going to be prepared for you and what you bring to them, and so I think it's going to be just a great game this afternoon, and good luck, and thanks for joining me on the pregame.
Thank you.
All right, head coach of the Bigfork Valkyries, Courtney Gunlock on the pregame show. Brought to you by His Biz Paint and Renovate. We're live here at the Sister Rita Mudd Activity Center in Missoula, Montana, on the campus of Loyola. It is the Loyola Breakers taking on your Bigfork Valkyries. Loyola 13-0 on the season and ranked number 1 in Class B in the state of Montana. The Valkyries 8-4 in the driver's seat, tied with Thompson Fall, the top of 7B, going down the way with 6 games left, including this one to wrap up the season. This is James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikes and Vals, with you from Missoula, Montana. And let's get to your starting lineups, first of all. And that'll be brought to you by the Bigfork Dental Center. Dr. Aaron Price and team at Bigfork Dental Center are proud to support Vikes and Vals athletics. See Dr. Aaron Price and our dental team for all of your dental needs, including digital radiographs, tooth-colored fillings, crowns, bridges, implants, dentures, and much more. Now accepting new patients of all ages. Call today at 837-5611 or see bigforkdental.com. First of all, for the Loyola Sacred Heart Breakers, it'll be a senior wing, 5'11", captain number 2, Sam Clevenger. At 6 foot in the post, junior, number 3, Laney Denning. Also a captain, the sophomore guard I talked about earlier, 5'8", number 5, Laney Walker. A 5'7", senior guard, number 11, Captain Sid Kopang. And number 20 is a junior guard at 5'7", Kelsey Etch, for head coach Travis Walker, assisted by Chris Clevenger and Lee Campbell. For the Valkyries today, the usual suspects and starters, it'll be a 5'7", sophomore guard, captain number 11, Emma Beth. At 5'5", a junior guard, number 14, Audrey Benz. At 5'11" in the post, senior, captain number 24, Ansley Edgerton. At guard forward, 5'7", senior number 33, Isabella Santa Steven. And captain, 5'5", guard forward, senior number 40, Ashton McAnally. For head coach, Courtney Gunlock, this by Jasper Torres and Brandy Couture. The starting lineup again brought to you by the Bigfork Dental Center. Again, thanks to all my sponsors, Bigfork Dental Center, Bigfork Harvest Foods, Gator Painting, Montana Athletic Club, and His Biz Paint and Renovate. And we're going to get way here for the national anthem. Before that, I'll give you this. The officials for today's ballgame, Tyson Atkinson, J.R. Casillas, and Seth Kitchens for this ballgame today. School song played by Loyola, so get ready. And like a good veteran, I'm going to stand, remove my hat, and give a proper salute as we do the national anthem here momentarily from Missoula, Montana. First game of a doubleheader as the Vikes will take on the Rams after this ball game here from Missoula. First up, it is the Valkyries taking on the Loyola Breakers from Missoula, Montana. 406-270-7384. I've already been told that we're live on the air by a gentleman listening down in front, so we're ready. Get ready for a good ball game, a 9-point ball game. And Valkyries gave him a good shot up there. We'll see what happens today, a month later here in Missoula. So I'm going to be quiet while they play the national anthem. Quite a few folks here on both sides filling it up for Loyola and for Bigfork. Bigfork cheerleaders and cheer studs are here as well. A good atmosphere, good rivalry between Loyola and Bigfork over the years. And we'll get ready to do the national anthem right here in Missoula. I know about the weather going on up there. So a little bit of branches and trees down on the way down on the East Lake Shore, but we made it down here in Missoula to bring you the game. Now it's time for the national anthem. All right, National Anthem wrapping up. Let you listen to that. We'll get underway here as they do the starting lineups. I'll be back with you just momentarily here from Missoula, Montana. All right, welcome back. Missoula, Montana. Sister Rita Mudd Activity Center getting ready to do these starting lineups. First of all, for the Valkyries, we're going to be introducing those. Hey, if you didn't catch earlier action, I'll give that to you. In girls JV, it was Loyola 42, the Bigfork Valkyries 32. In boys action, the freshman boys game, it was Bigfork 55 at Loyola 17. And Loyola returned the favor in JV action, winning 68-51 in boys. So we come up, the Valkyries getting ready to face the Breakers here. And introducing the Valkyries. And the starting lineups. Told you, brought to you by the Bigfork Dental Center. Tip-off will be brought to you by Bigfork Harvest Foods. For all your grocery needs, including an amazing bakery, deli, 8111 Highway 35 and Bigfork 837-5010. Marcus Bagos and the gang there at Bigfork Harvest Foods, always a big sponsor of Bigfork Athletics. You see those guys, tell them thank you when you shop at Bigfork Harvest Foods. So Beth, Benz, McAnally, Santa Stephen, and Edgerton to start for the Valkyries. So 3 seniors, a junior, and a sophomore for the Valkyries. And get ready to introduce Loyola. Loaded team with seniors and 13-0 on the season with a big win against Florence last night down in at Florence High School to move to 13-0. That means they have 5 ball games left. The Valkyries have 6, including 2 more conference games, and that one coming up on the 15th will decide who is the number 1 seed or who the conference champion is for 7B between Thompson Falls and Bigfork. That game will take place at Bigfork High School on the 15th, and that will be senior night, a doubleheader as the Vikes and the Vals play. The Vikes in the driver's seat with that big win over Eureka by 17, and they'll face Troy and then Thompson Falls in conference action. So Sam Clevenger, Denning, Walker, Kopang, and Esch for head coach Travis Walker. We're getting ready to tip it off here from Missoula, Montana. And the tip-off, once again, brought to you by Bigfork Harvest Foods. It'll be Edgerton. And see who she'll tip it up against. She's going to go up against Lady Denning, the 6-foot junior post. They look about the same height. Valkyries heading left to right in the dial. Loyola right to left. Tip goes to Walker for Loyola. Walker with the basketball drives in out to Kopang. Kopang on the left side driving, cut off by Barrett. Out to Esch. Esch top of the key. Over the right wing to Kopang. Kopang looking to drive with the left hand, and she's going to a legal dribble. And turnover to the Valkyries with 7:44 to go here in the first quarter. In the backcourt, 4 across for Bigfork. McAnally gets it into Edgerton. Back to McAnally in the backcourt. Full court pressure put on by the Breakers. Back to McAnally. McAnally across the timeline. Gets over to Edgerton. Edgerton, Beth on the left wing. Far side corner to Santa Stephen. Back out to Beth. Beth will set it up at the top of the key for the Valkyries. Beth dribbling, looking. Gives it over to Benz. Benz guarded by Kopang. She drives, looks underneath finds Edgerton. Edgerton's shot inside the free throw line is good for 2. And the Valkyries take the lead early, 2-0. 7:07 to go here in quarter number 1. Quickly up, Kopang on the left side. Guarded, dribbles out, gives it to Walker. Walker, top of the key, near the half-court line. And she's calling something out, whatever her dad wants. Over to Ash on the right wing. Ash looking to drive. Takes it up off the backboard, no good. And rebound brought out by McAnally. McAnally comes up with it and bends across the timeline. And she's going to hold it up and set things up. She loses it to Walker. Walker looking to go on the drive, left-handed, up and under, and Walker scores for Loyola. We're tied at 2. McAnally in to Beth. Back to McAnally in the backcourt. Full court pressure by Loyola. Beth up to Benz. Over to Edgerton. Edgerton will kick it back out to McAnally. Top of the key to Beth. Beth with the basketball. Give it over to Benz on the left wing. As Santa Stephen runs the baseline. Back out to Beth. Beth out to Benz. Benz top of the key, looking underneath. Looking for an opening. And Benz will have to get back out to Beth at top of the key. Edgerton with the basketball up. And she tries to go up, misses it, but Beth gets the rebound, puts it off the backboard, and good by Emma Beth. And a 4-2 lead, just under 6 minutes to go here in quarter number 1. On your Gator Painting scoreboard. 4-2, the Valkyries lead. Walker up left side, trapped there by Benz and Beth, and the whistle blows. It looks like a foul going to be called on number 14, Audrey Benz. And that'll be her first team foul on the Valkyries. Kopang to take it out in the near court on the far side. Gets it in to Denning. Denning looking back to Kopang on the right wing. Far corner to Esch. Esch looking guarded there by McAnally. McAnally lets her go out front. Esch, top of the key, nearly runs into Walker. Guarded by Beth. Gets it over to Walker on the left wing. Over to Kopang, right wing. Long three-point shot on the way by Kopang. No good. And Santa Steve will come up with a long rebound for the Valkyries. Kicks it over to McAnally. McAnally across the timeline. Gives up her dribble. And she'll give it, look to get it to Benz, and gets it to Benz. Benz looking for the corner, knocked away by Loyola, and out of bounds. It'll be Valkyrie basketball. On the near side, Santa Stephen will take it out for the Vals. Santa Stephen look in, gets it in to Edgerton, gives it up to Benz. Benz top of the key, setting things up. Over to Beth. Beth feeds it underneath. Nice pass there to Ansley. Edgerton shoots a little hard, but McAnally gets the rebound and puts her shot up and misses it. Walker saves it, but saves it right to Edgerton, who goes and gets that loose ball. She'll give it up to Benz. Benz out to Beth. Beth looking to drive, left-handed. Shot off the backboard, in, around, off the backboard, rim, and falls for Emma Beth. 6-2 early lead for the Valkyries. Kopang looking, stolen by Santa Stevens. Santa Stevens has to watch out behind her, and she'll take it on the left wing, gives it out to McAnally, top of the key. Over to Benz. Benz with the basketball. Looking, gives it over to Beth. Beth. Top of the key, extended. We'll look in the corner to Santa Stephen, back out to Beth and loses it. Ash steals it away, but Benz is back on defense, knocks it away. Denning gets the basketball off the backboard, off the rim, and over Kopang comes up the loose ball, knocked away by Edgerton, and Santa Stephen will come up with it, gives it up to McAnally. McAnally, the senior, quietly up the court, gives it to Beth on the left wing, back to McAnally. McAnally looking to drive, over to Beth. Beth gives it to Benz. Benz looking to the left wing. Santa Stephen, Edgerton's shot, and the whistle blower will call a traveling violation on Edgerton, who tried to get separation to put up that shot. 3:56 to go, 6-2 on your Montana Athletic scoreboard. The Valkyries lead early. Kopang in the backcourt. Stolen away by Benz, and Benz looking, knocked off Kopang's leg as Benz hustles. It'll be Bigfork basketball underneath or on the near side, and Benz will take it out on the end line for the Valkyries. Calls out the play, slaps the basketball, gets it in. Edgerton. Edgerton in the right wing, guarded by Esch, gives it out to Beth. Beth looking to drive, guarded by Walker. Beth, and she gets bumped there by Esch, and they're going to call a foul on Loyola with 3:38 to go. And that'll be on number 20, Kelsey Esch, her first team on Loyola. Santa Stephen the inbound. Gives it to Beth. Beth guarded by Walker in the corner. Santa Stephen back out to Beth on the right wing. Gives it over to Benz. Benz, left wing, gives it in the corner to Santa Stevens. Back to Benz, top of the key. Emma Barrett looking for McAnally, running baseline, up, off the backboard, a little strong, and no good. Denning comes up with the rebound, up to Walker. Kopang running the floor, left-handed layup is good. And they pull within 2 at 6-4 with 3 minutes to go. Into McAnally. Over to Benz. Benz looking. Gives it up to McAnally. McAnally across the timeline. She'll give it up to Benz. Up through the half-court line. Will dribble and give it over to Barrett. Barrett back to Benz. Back to Barrett. In the corner. Right corner to Santa Stephen. Give it to Edgerton. And knocked away. Barrett comes up with the loose ball. Looks to drive. And no call. As Loyola Esch knocks it away. And Denning comes up with it. Kopang running the court. And she'll go to the free throw line to shoot the N1 as the bucket counts. As Kopang runs out. And entering, number 23, Violet Whitegrass. Along with number 1, Brooke Twite for Loyola. And Kopang at the line to shoot the N1 for the Breakers. Shot is up and good. And first sub for the Valkyries. It'll be number 21, Madison Chapius, the freshman coming in the ballgame for Bigfork. As Loyola takes the lead 7-6. And Edgerton back to McAnally. Gives it up. And Chapius can't quite handle it. On the drive is Clevenger. Misses a shot. Outrunning is Beth. Beth gets it up. And stolen away by Kopang from Beth. And Beth steals it right back. Gives it up to Edgerton. Edgerton looking to drive off the backboard, and good by Ensley Edgerton with 2:11 to go. Twite gives it to Kopang in the backcourt. Kopang brings it across the timeline, guarded by Beth. Over to Twite. Twite in the corner to Sam Clevenger. She'll give it up to Whitegrass. Nearly knocked away Walker. Kopang in the left corner with a three-point shot on the way. No good. Long rebound. Clevenger comes up with it on the right wing. Stolen away nearly by Chapius. She knocks it off of Twite. And it'll be Bigfork basketball. 1:47 to go. And the Valkyries leading 8-7 on your Bigfork Harvest Food scoreboard. Into McAnally. Back to Barrett. Back to Chapius. Back to McAnally. McAnally across the timeline. Gives it up to Chapius. Chapius off her head. Stolen away. Knocked away by Loyola. Walker on the drive. Fouled by McAnally, and she'll go to the free throw line. And to the line to shoot 2, it'll be number 5, Lady Walker, with 1:34 to go. 8-7, the Valkyries leave on your Bigfork Harvest Food scoreboard. First shot on the way by Walker is good, ties it at 8. Checking in the ball game. Number 14, Audrey Benz. And Santa Stephen will take a seat to get a breather for the Valkyries. Second shot up is good by Walker and take a 9-8 lead. McAnally into Edgerton, back to McAnally. McAnally looking to drive, guarded by Walker in the backcourt. Gives it over to Chapius. Chapius back to McAnally. Got to get across the timeline for a 10-second call. Throws it all the way down to Clevenger for Loyola. She'll give it up to Walker, but she can't handle the pass, and Chapius with the basketball. Chapius looking to set it up. Gives it out to Edgerton. Back to Chapius. Chapius top of the key. Over to Benz. Benz calling on a play, looking. The dribble. Gives it up to Beth, top of the key. In the corner, Edgerton. Back out to Beth. To McAnally. McAnally gives it up to Audrey Benz. Audrey Benz on the drive. And traveling will be called on Benz. And turnover to Loyola with 1:04 to go. And a 1-point lead for the Breakers. Kopang to bring it in the backcourt. She'll give it into Walker. Laney Walker, the sophomore, daughter of the coach, Travis, brings it across the timeline, gets it over to Kopang on the left wing. Kopang looking underneath, throws it far side to Walker. Back to Kopang, three-point shot on the right for Kopang, off the rim and no good. Edgerton comes up with a rebound on a nice box out. She'll get up to Chapius looking. Can get up to McAnally. McAnally on the right wing, driving, cut off by Violet Whitegrass, and right to Chapius. Chapius looking, and they'll call traveling on the freshman Madison Chapius as she tries to get through the defense there and get a shot up. 34.3 to go here in quarter number one. Kopang inbound to Walker in the backcourt. Benz will pick up Walker early. Over to Twite on the right wing. Back to Kopang. Back to Walker. Give and go underneath. Walker scores the left-handed layup with 21 seconds to go. McAnally in to Edgerton. Back to McAnally. McAnally looking to drive. And off the foot of Kopang, it'll remain Bigfork basketball with 11.2 to go. Right down in front of me in the backcourt. McAnally looking. Gives it up to Edgerton. Edgerton back to McAnally. Looking to drive. Here's McAnally. McAnally gives it over the corner. Chapius finds it out. And it's going to be an over-back violation, looks like, on Bigfork as Chapius tries to hit Beth and overthrows it. So 1.6 to go. And Valkyries trailing by 3, 11-8. Kopang looking to inbound, looking to go back door to Walker. And right there, Whitegrass shot as Walker tips it to Whitegrass at the rim, and she misses the layup off the rim and backboard. So 1 quarter in the books. It is Loyola Breakers 11 and your Bigfork Valkyries 8 on your Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. We'll be back with the second quarter momentarily from Missoula, Montana. All right, welcome back to Missoula, Montana. Loyola Sacred Heart High School Sister Rita Mudd Activity Center. This is James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikes and the Vals, bringing you the ball game, second quarter, and possession will belong to the Valkyries here to start the second quarter, trailing 11-8. Santa Stephen, take it out, stacking it up. You got Benz, Edgerton, and McAnally inbounded. Ansley Edgerton gives it to Benz. Benz dribbles across the timeline in the corner to Santa Stephen, looking to get her shot off. She can hit a couple key threes. Kicks it out. Here goes a three by Santa Stephen, and a little bit strong by Santa Stephen. Throws it out to Kopang, and the Valkyries get on the board. Santa Stephen comes up with it, gives it up to McAnally. McAnally in the backcourt. And number 14, Natalie Clevenger in the ball game for Loyola, and a traveling violation called on Bigfork. That's like 3 or 4 of them already. Can't turn it over. Got to take care of the basketball here if you want to play against Loyola, who's a very good team. Inbounded. Walker across the timeline. Give it up to Natalie Clevenger. Whitegrass in the ball game as well as Kopang. Whitegrass left-handed layup, no good. Brought down by Edgerton to McAnally. Gives it up to Benz. Benz in the front court. Throws it over far side to Santa Stephen. She'll give it out to Benz and go run the baseline. Back to Beth, back to Benz. Gives it over to Santa Stephen looking underneath. She'll give it out to Beth. Beth, top of the key for Bigfork. Drives in the left corner. Gives it up to Santa Stephen. Right there to Edgerton. Edgerton. And this time, Edgerton's going to get fouled. And that'll be the second team foul on Loyola, as Chapius comes in for Benz. And number 14, Natalie Clevenger, that will be her first second team foul. Edgerton takes it out underneath, gives it up to Chapius. Chapius gets on the floor, and Bev comes up with a loose ball. Bev looking to drive, puts it off the backboard, just no good, but Edgerton comes up with a rebound and puts it back for 2, and she'll go to the free throw line to shoot the and one for the Valkyries. That's the first on number 23, Vita Whitegrass, and the third team foul on Loyola. And Edgerton to the line to shoot the N1 and try to tie this ball game up. Shot up and nothing but the bottom of the net by Edgerton. We're tied at 11 with 6:45 to go here till halftime on your Gilliard Painting scoreboard. Walker looking back at the coach across the timeline. Guarded there by Chapius. Out near the half court is Walker looking to cross over. Kicks it out in the corner to Clevenger. Sam Clevenger with a three-point shot is good. And Loyola takes the lead back by 3, 14-11. Into Chapius, McAnally. Over to Edgerton. Back to McAnally. McAnally getting it up to Santa Stephen in the front court. Santa Stephen waiting. Back to McAnally on the left side, looking to drive. Takes the top of the key. And she's going to call for traveling. Goes Ashton McAnally. And turnover to Loyola with 6:09 to go. Into Walker. Chapius right there running with her. So the sophomore versus the freshman. Clevenger for the basketball, driving on and loses it out of bounds, does Sam Clevenger, as she was guarded there by McAnally. It'll be Bigfork basketball, 5:58 to go, trailing by 3. McAnally inbound. Far side to Edgerton, back to McAnally. Over to Santa Stephen. Santa Stephen looking in the middle. Gives it up to Edgerton. Edgerton back to McAnally. Driving across the top. Gets it up. Throws it too long. And Sam Clevenger comes up the loose ball. And give it to Walker. Walker. Sam Clevenger looking to drive. Looked like she had caught it on her hip and they didn't call anything. She knocked it over McAnally. And Beth with the basketball looking to drive. Emma Beth on the baseline goes up off the backboard. She'll go to the line to shoot 2 as she gets fouled. Number 23, Vita Whitegrass. That is her second 14 foul. And Emma Beth to the line. She'll shoot two for Bigfork. 5:27 to go here till halftime. In a very good ball game from Loyola. First shot off the right side of the rim and no good. Benz will come in for Chapius, and replacing Clevenger, it'll be number 3, Lainey Denning. So, Kopang, Denning, Whitegrass, Natalie Clevenger, and Walker in the ball game. She hits 1 of 2, 14-12, 5:27 to go. Pressure put in the backcourt by Bigfork. Inbound to Kopang. Kopang looking to drill up, guarded by Beth. She'll get it across the timeline for Loyola. Over to number 3, Lainey Denning, the 6-foot post outside. Looking to drive, gets it out to Kopang, and her shot is strong, but Denning gets a rebound, puts it up, no good. Natalie Clevenger on the follow from the left side is good for Loyola. Benz over to McAnally. McAnally finds Beth. Beth looking to drive on Natalie Clevenger. She's going to drive all the way off the backboard, and no good, no foul called. And Denning comes up with a Kopang quickly up the court, pull-up jumper, and off the backboard, no good. Violet Whitegrass gets the rebound, throws it up, and no good. Gets her own rebound, puts it up again, off the backboard, no good. And McAnally comes up the rebound for the Valkyries. McAnally looking, finds Beth. Beth looking, finds Santa Stephen. Santa Stephen, three-point shot on the way by Isabella off the back rim, and no good. Rebounded by Clevenger. Clevenger across the timeline, looking to drive all the way, kicks it out. Delaney Denning. Denning's two-point shot on the way off the rim, no good. And kicked around, blocked there by Natalie Clevenger, off the rim and no good. And Whitegrass comes up with a loose ball. Timeout taken before the foul, as the pass was over to Lainey Denning, and Barrett tried to steal it. And timeout, a 30-second timeout taken by the Loyola Breakers. 4:13 to go here till halftime. 16-12 on your Gilliard Painting scoreboard, as the Loyola Breakers lead by 4 here in Missoula, Montana. Great to have you with us. Not sure how many are listening out there, but checking on Valkyrie action. A good ball game. It was a 9-part ball game up in Bigfork, and Bigfork playing them tough here this afternoon. I'm sure they'll see each other in divisionals coming up the end of the month in Hamilton. So Kopang will get it into Ash, who's back in the ball game for Loyola. Gets to the Walker. Walker up and under and blocked there by number 22, Scout Nadeau in the ball game for Bigfork. Nadeau back to McAnally. McAnally, Scout Nadeau. Off Clevenger's hands and off Nadeau, and turnover. Nadeau, a freshman, in the ball game for Bigfork. And Clevenger will inbound to Kopang. Kopang into the front court. Guarded there by Beth. Natalie Clevenger across. Beth gets on the floor and steals the ball away. Benz with the basketball, looking to drive all the way, and she's going to travel. Yeah, that's obviously drug her pivot foot. She couldn't quite stop it and get her shot up, and she drug it and traveled. Inbound to Ash. Ash quickly underneath the Walker. Walker puts it off the rim, backboard, off the rim and no good, but she'll go to the line and shoot two. So that's the second foul. Number 14, Audrey Benz, 14 foul, and Walker to the line. And she'll make the first one. And Madison Chapius will return to the ball game, replacing Audrey Benz. A 5-point lead with 3:34 to go till halftime on your Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. Second shot off the rim and no good. And right there is Emma Beth coming down with the rebound for Bigfork. Dribble, drive, gives it up to McAnally. McAnally comes in the front court. Give it over to Santa Stephen. Santa Stephen, the senior, will pull it out, set it up. Beth, top of the key. Gives it over to Chapius. Chapius looking to drive. And kicks it up to Beth. Beth tipped by Walker. Beth on the drive. Little floater, no good, but rebounded there by Scout Nadeau. Nadeau puts it back up again for two for the Valkyries. Kopang with the basketball. Guarded by Beth. Natalie Clevenger looking to drive. Santa Stephen guarding her. Out to Kopang. Thought about the three-point shot. Fed it underneath the Walker. And she's going to get pushed. Be on the floor. And that's on number 21, Madison Chapius. That's her first 15th foul on the Valkyries. With 2:53 to go to halftime. Inbounded to Natalie Clevenger. And Clevenger will get fouled as she puts the shot up off the backboard and no good. But she'll go to the free throw line to shoot two. And that's the first personal on Emma Beth. And a 16th foul on the Valkyries. First shot up, good by Clevenger. And a 4-point lead, 18-14 on your His Biz Paint and Renovate scoreboard. Second shot up and good. Into Nadeau. Back to McAnally. Over to Santa Stephen on the left side. Back to Nadeau. She's going to give it up to McAnally. McAnally gets it, give it across the timeline. She'll feed it up to Beth. Beth in the left wing looking to drive is Emma Beth. She's going to drive all the way baseline. Take it up and fights for her own rebound as partially blocked. Quickly up to Walker. Walker. And traveling as nice defense played there by Madison Chapius causes her to travel. And Walker down hurt as looks like she hit her knee as Chapius reached out and grabbed the ball. And Walker may have fell on it and fell on her knee. And Lady Walker, the key to the Breakers. That's not good to see for Loyola. Everybody giving her a hand. And they'll take her directly, looks like it, to the locker room. Looks like it's putting a little bit of weight on that. That's key to Loyola is Walker. A traveling violation. So Whitegrass back in. Esch, Natalie Clevenger, Kopang, Whitegrass, and number 3, Lainey Denning. For the Valkyries, Santa Stephen, McAnally, Barrett, Chapius, and Edgerton in. Right side to Chapius, back out top of the key. Barrett looking to drive, gives it over to Santa Stephen. Santa Stephen, far side, gives it over right wing underneath and knocked away there by Denning. Pass intended for Edgerton underneath. And it'll be Bigfork basketball after the timeout taken by the JV coach, Chris Clevenger, as the head coach took Laney in. A full timeout taken by Loyola. And here before halftime, about 2 minutes to go. 19-14 Loyola leads on your Bigfork Harvest Food scoreboard. We're back here momentarily from Loyola. This is James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikes and the Vals from Sister Rita Mudd Activity Center, Loyola. Sacred Heart High School in Missoula, Montana. All right, we're back here in Missoula. Loyola leading the Valkyries 19-14. Bigfork basketball underneath on the near side, and Santa Stephen will take it out for the Valkyries. 2:02 to go to halftime into McAnally. McAnally, right corner, out to Chapius. Chapius looking to drive. The freshman, Chapius, guarded by Clevenger. She'll give it out to Edgerton. Edgerton going to look to drive all the way to the bucket, and she'll get fouled there by Denning, and she'll go to the free throw line for 2 shots. That's the first one on Denning, and the 15th foul, and Ansley Edgerton goes to the line to shoot 2 for the Valkyries. Makes the first one, as Ansley usually does. A really good free throw shooter for Bigfork. 1:50 to go to halftime, and the Valkyries within 4, and Ansley's second shot up and on the way. Off the rim a little bit hard. I don't know if I jinxed her. Sorry if I did. Kopang comes with a rebound, runs it out quickly, gives it over to Esch on the right wing. So bring it out top, guarded by Santa Stevens. Esch looking to dribble and drive. Esch on the drive, and that'll be off her leg. The hit off Chapius, then off Esch, and it'll be Bigfork basketball. 1:34 to go. McAnally, pressure still put on by the Breakers. Over to McAnally, back to Santa Stevens. Over to Chapius. Chapius looking up, nearly throws it away, and off Denning. His pass intended for Beth. Off of Denning, out of bounds, and Bigfork basketball in the front court here on the near side. Santa Stevens to take it out. Bigfork stacks it, gets it into Edgerton. Edgerton will give it up to Chapius. Over to Beth. Beth will bring it top of the key. Beth looking to drive, gives it over to McAnally. McAnally back to Beth. 3-point shot by Beth is off the back of the rim, gets her own rebound, takes it up off the rim and no good, gets her own rebound, puts it back up, and off the backboard, back in the rim, and fouls for Beth. Quickly up to Esch for Loyola, over to Kopang. Kopang thought about 3-point shot, pulls up, puts it up, it goes down and comes out. And Bigfork comes up with a rebound. McAnally over to Chapius, back to McAnally in the front court, gives it over to Barrett. Barrett looking to drive on Whitegrass, over to McAnally. McAnally, 3-point shot away, is going to be short, and Edgerton's going to try to save it, but steps on the end line and out of bounds. 39.9 to go, a 2-point ball game, 19-17. The Breakers lead the Valkyries. Esch inbounded Kopang, along with Clevenger, Whitegrass, and Denning in the ball game for Loyola. And dribbling up the sideline, they're going to call a foul. It's Emma Bear's second and 17th foul. That will put Loyola in the bonus. And Natalie Clevenger will go to the line and shoot 1-on-1. And smart move by coach, taking Barrett out so she don't pick up a silly third foul here in the first half, as Benz will come back in. Clevenger at the line. First one on the way, no good. And Chapius, the freshman, comes up with a rebound. Gives it up to Edgerton, over to Benz. Benz in the right wing in the front court. Backed out to Chapius, to Edgerton. Gives it over to Benz. Benz looking to drive baseline. Kicks it out. Natalie Clevenger with the basketball. Up to Kopang. Kopang, spin dribble, takes it up. Off the backboard, no good. And Benz all the way coast to coast. And I'm not sure about that call. It looked like Whitegrass was moving as Benz takes it, and they're going to call a player control foul on Audrey Benz, and that is her third personal. It looked like Whitegrass was moving her feet and slid underneath. I'm not sure about that one. That's an over and back violation as Natalie Clevenger established 1 foot in the front court and threw it in the back court. And that is over and back. 3.7 to go and a 2-point ball game. McAnally looking. Gets to get into Chapius. Chapius got to look to drive and shoot. Throws up a long three-pointer way over the backboard from near half court is no good. And your halftime score in a good ball game, a very good ball game here from Sister Rita Mudd Activity Center here in Missoula, Montana at Loyola Sacred Heart High School. It is Loyola Breakers 19. Your Bigfork Valkyries 17. I'll be back with your halftime stats here from Missoula, Montana. This is James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikes and the Vals. Glad to be with you from Missoula. Be back momentarily. All right, welcome back to Sister Rita Mudd Activity Center here on the campus of Loyola Sacred Heart High School here in Missoula, Montana. Halftime score. And halftime brought to you by Gilead Painting, interior and exterior painting, staining, pressure washing, parking lot striping, property caretaking. Chip Gilead at 1080 Swan Horseshoe Drive in Bigfork, Montana at 210-7794. Chip Gilead at yahoo.com. Get a hold of Chip Gilead and Gilead Painting for all your painting needs. So for Loyola, as they lead 19-17, it was Sam Clevenger hitting a three in the second quarter. 7 points by Lainey Walker, who bumped knees with Chapius and trying to walk it off, leading the way. 5 points by Sid Kopang. 4 by Natalie Clevenger. 11 in the first, 8 in the second for 19 total. And let's bring you the Valkyries here. And I'll bring that up. Barrett with 7. 4 in the first, 2 in the second, and 1 of 2 on free throws. Scott Nadine with a big 2. And Ansley Edgerton lead the way with 8. So 8 in the first and 9 in the second. And need to get Isabella Sanesteven in the second half. So 17 at halftime. And a very good ball game for the Valkyries, playing them tough. It'll be a big difference if Walker cannot go in the second half, as she's trying to walk it off so she can play for Loyola. At halftime, it's entertainment, future cheerleaders for Loyola going on the floor right now with about 5 minutes to go here at halftime. And before the second half, we'll see what happens and comes out. Earlier today, if you didn't catch the scores, it was freshman boys first playing today at noon, and it was the Bigfork boys easily 55-17 over Loyola. But Loyola boys repaid them in JV action, winning 68-51. And girls JV action, it was Loyola Breakers 42 and the Bigfork Valkyries 32. Well, the Valkyries 8-4, a big test right here against Loyola. We'll see how this goes here in the second half. Once again, your halftime score is Loyola Breakers 19-17 on your halftime, brought to you by the Gilliard Painting and Chip Gilliard. We'll be back more of the second half from Missoula, Montana. This is James LaFontaine, the voice of the Knights of the Vals, with you. All right, welcome back to Missoula, Montana. Sister Rita Mudd Activity Center on the campus of Loyola Sacred Heart High School. And we'll see what's going to happen there in the second half for Loyola. And Lainey Walker out there shooting, so we'll see when they get the starting lineups here. We've got about 1 minute to go. The second half starts. And it looks like Loyola will have possession. I'll give you the starting lineups once I get those momentarily. 406-270-7384. Let me know if you're listening out there live. A very good ball game, a 2-point ball game. Loyola won by 9 up in Bigfork earlier. But they go as Lainey Walker goes. And we'll see if she starts the second half for Loyola. As Coach Walker over there talking. And we're about ready to go here. The second half brought to you by the Montana Athletic Cup. What's keeping you from getting fit? Discounted guest passes, personal training, Pilates, a whole bunch more. Lots of things. 850 Holt Drive in Bigfork, 837-2582. Deb Mallam and the gang. And Walker is out there, the same starting. Walker, Kopang, Denning, Clevenger, and Esch. For the Valkyries, the same. It's Benz, Beth, Edgerton, Santa Stephen, and McAnally. And Kopang inbound to Walker here on the near side, the back court. Walker brings it up in the front court. Over to Kopang, right wing, down in the corner to Clevenger. Hits a three. Does Clevenger to start the second half out of the right corner. Into Beth. Beth will bring it across the timeline. Gives it over to Benz. Benz looking. Back to Beth. Beth, timeline. Bigfork heading right to left on your dial. Into Santa Stevens. Back out to Santa Stevens. Tries to get it back over Denning. Can't. From Edgerton to Santa Stevens and stolen away by Loyola. Kopang in the front court, right wing. Gives it the top of the key to Denning and knocked away. And we'll see what the call is as Kopang and Santa Stevens fight for it going out of bounds. It'll be Loyola basketball underneath with 7:17 to go here. Kopang looking to get inbound. Gets it into Clevenger. Sam Clevenger, the senior. Gets it over to Esch. Esch with the basketball, looking to drive. Tries it all the way. Whistle blows. She'll go to the free throw line to shoot two. Kelsey Esch for Loyola. And foul will be on number 40, I believe. That is the second on Ashton McAnally. And the first team foul in the second half. Esch to shoot two for Loyola. First shot up off the back of the rim and no good by Kelsey Esch, the junior guard. Esch will get one more. Second shot up off the rim, no good. And Benz will come down with a rebound. And Esch tries to grab it away, being aggressive as Esch in the backcourt. Benz up as gets it from Edgerton. Benz back out to Santa Stephen, then to Benz, and Walker goes down again hard. She tries to steal it away, and she may be done as Walker tries to go. And that'll be her first personal and first team foul in the second half on Loyola with 6:55 to go, 22-17 on your His Biz Paint Renovate scoreboard. Inbound. Ansley Edgerton, Beth, coming across, gets the ball over to Benz. Benz top of the key. Looks underneath to Santa Stephen. Bad pass. Stolen away there by Natalie Clevenger, who came in the ball game for Walker. And Clevenger takes it all the way to the bucket and scores. In, Beth loses the handle, grabs it, and she'll bring it across the timeline. Beth over to Benz. Looking to drive is Beth. Knocked away by Kopang. Clevenger comes up with it again, and Ben's right there trying to keep up with her. And that's going to be the third, or excuse me, probably the fourth, if I remember correctly, on Audrey Benz, that it is second team foul. And a full timeout taken, and Madison Chapius will check in as head coach Courtney Gunlock takes a full timeout, puts Chapius in for Benz. 6:18 to go, and the Valkyries trailing by 7, 24-17. on the Bigfork Dental scoreboard. So we're back more of the third quarter from Missoula, Montana. All right, welcome back to Missoula. It will be Loyola basketball. Kopang the inbound as Chapius came in again for Benz with 4 personals. He has to take a seat. And inbound into Clevenger. Kopang picks it up on the right wing for Loyola. He'll bring it out to the top of the key. Guarded there. One by Chapius. Gives it over to Clevenger. Clevenger gives Esch. Esch looking to spin drive. Up and just throws it up. And she gets the whistle to blow. And she'll get 2 shots. That's the 3rd personal on Ashton McAnally, 3rd team foul on the Valkyries, and Esch will go back to the free throw line to shoot 2. First one is up and good by Kelsey Esch, and Scout Nadeau will come in the ball game, and McAnally with 3 will have to go out, take a seat with 6 minutes to go here. 6:01 to be exact here in the third quarter. Esch, another free throw for Loyola. Second shot off the rim and no good. Edgerton right there gets the rebound. She'll give it over to Chapius. And Chapius, freshman, just dribble it up. Gives it over to Barrett. Barrett across the timeline looking. Gives it over to Edgerton. Edgerton's shot up, in and out. Right there is Scout Nadeau, gets the rebound. She'll kick it out to Barrett. Barrett looking to drive. Up, floater off the backboard, no good. Rebound Chapius. Chapius looking to take it up. She'll kick it out. Edgerton sets it up, gives it over to Barrett. Over to Chapius. Back top of the key. Emma Barrett looking to set it up as running the baseline is Santa Stephen in the corner, right wing. Santa Stephen tries to get it to Edgerton. Shot up and off the rim. No good, but she'll get 2 free throws as Edgerton is fouled in the shot. And she'll go to the line. That is Natalie Clevenger's second team foul on Loyola. And Edgerton at the line to shoot 2 with 5:19 to go. First shot up, nothing but the bottom of the net by Edgerton. She'll get 1 more. 25-18 on the Bigfork Harvest Foods scoreboard. Edgerton, 1 more for the Valkyries. Second shot up off the rim and no good. Rebounded there by Denning. Kopang quickly up the court, looking to drive. Somebody's got to step in and take a charge as Kopang goes all the way to the basket with a right-handed layup and scores. Into Beth. Beth, top of the key. Look, it says up, gets it up to Chapius. Chapius looking underneath, back to Barrett. Barrett looking to drive, left hand. Drives to the basket, off the backboard. Emma Barrett for 2 on a nice drive and uses the backboard nicely to score the 2. Kopang with the basketball, looking to drive. Denning, shot up. Edgerton with the rebound by Bigfork. She gets it out quickly to that Scout Nadeau. Nadeau across the timeline. Pulls it up, and she'll give it up to Beth. Beth gives up her dribbles, nearly stolen by Clevenger. Clevenger shoves her down, and Clevenger will get called for the foul. That should be her 3rd, and the 3rd team foul on Loyola as Violet Whitegrass will come back in for the Rakers. Check that. That's the 4th on Natalie Clevenger, 3rd team foul. Inbound to Beth from Santa Stephen. Beth looking, dribbles, gives it over to Chapius. Chapius, left wing, down the corner, left corner, underneath, gives it to McAnally. McAnally up and under, off the backboard is good by Ashton McAnally, and a nice pass there by Santa Stephen. And Kopang with the basketball. Quickly up to Natalie Clevenger. Clevenger nearly stolen away there by Beth. Beth knocks it away to Santa Stephen. Good hustle there by Chapius and Beth to cause the turnover. And McAnally with the basketball. Under 4 minutes to go. 4-point lead, 26-22 on your Giga Painting scoreboard. Beth, corner to Santa Stephen, over to Chapius, right wing. Chapius looking, gives it up to Beth. Beth looking, one dribble, gives it over in the corner. Santa Stephen can't get open for that three-point shot, gets it to McAnally quickly. Back to Santa Stevens, pulls it out. Chapius looking to drive. Chapius up and under, gives it up to Scout Nadeau. Scout Nadeau shot off the rim and no good. And rebounded there by Denning. Kopang stolen away by Beth, and Beth quickly up the court and throws it up off the backboard. McAnally with a rebound, puts it up, and no good. They're letting them play today for sure. And Ashton McAnally will go to line to shoot two. Some up and down action as Kopang gets it down in the basket, but stolen away by Beth, who drives it all the way to the basket and puts it up and misses, but McAnally gets the rebound, puts it up, is fouled, and she'll go to the free throw line. And that will be the second foul on number 20, Kelsey Esch, and should be the fourth team foul. Officials discussing something over there, talking to both coaches, Walker and Gunlock. And I'm not sure what was said, but McAnally will go to the line anyway and get two. First shot is up and good by Ashton McAnally. And number one, Brooke Dwight, will check in the ballgame for Loyola. The Valkyries within three, 26-23, 3:12 to go on the Montana Athletic scoreboard. Second shot is good. Within two as McAnally makes them both. Into Kopang from Violet Whitegrass. Over to Clevenger. Give it up to Grass. Guarded by Scout Nadeau. Knocked away by Bigfork. On the ground, the Valkyries scrappy. Is Bigfork. Kopang three-point shot for the right wing. Off the rim and no good. Santa Stephen with a good rebound. Boxing out. And she'll give it up to Beth. Beth across the timeline for Bigfork. Top of the key, feeds it on the corner to a lazy pass a little bit there by Beth, and nearly stolen, knocked away there by Denning for Loyola. Santa Stephen, far side, front court will look to inbound, gives it up to Beth. Beth looking, drive to the top of the key is Emma Beth. Gives it over to Chapius. Chapius gives it up. Scout Nadeau can't handle the pass, and Kopang comes up with it. And McAnally comes from behind. Probably not a smart foul by McAnally. I believe that may be her fourth. So Ashton McAnally picks up her fourth here in the third quarter with 2:30 to go. And Kopang to inbound in the front court for Loyola. The 14th foul on the Valkyries to Denning. Back to Kopang on the right wing. Bigfork playing scrappy defense. Natalie Clevenger looking to drive. Nearly loses it, gives it over to Violet Whitegrass. Whitegrass spin move. Has nowhere to go. It's great defense. And blocked there by Santa Stephen as Denning tries to take it out. And out of bounds, it'll be Loyola basketball. Underneath their own basket on the far side, Kopang looking to get it in. Gets it in. Dwight, three-point shot on the way by Denning. Drains it. 2:09 to go here and counting, 29-24 on the Montana Athletic scoreboard. Beth in the corner, Santa Stephen underneath. Gives it up to Edgerton, back to Santa Stephen. Looking out to Chapius. Chapius on the left wing. Drives to the top of the key, gives it to Beth. Beth looking to drive. Lazy pass to Whitegrass. Whitegrass steps in front of it, looking to drive all the way, and knocked away by Chapius. Chapius saves it up. Edgerton will get the basketball, and she's going to break away. The whistle blows on the floor. It'll be a foul on Loyola. 1:41 to go here in the third quarter. And a second foul on number 3, Lainey Denning. And Santa Stephen will take it out. Gives it inbound to Beth. Over to Chapius. Chapius looking right wing. Gives it up to Santa Stephen. Santa Stephen guarded by Whitegrass. Looking, kicks it out to Beth. Beth got to look to drive, puts a shot up. Looks like she got fouled there. Scout Nadeau grabs the loose ball on the miss and puts it up and misses. Overshoots the rim, but she'll go to the free throw line to shoot 2. That is a third personal on number 23, or excuse me, 23, Violet Whitegrass, and the 16 foul on Loyola. Nadeau gets one more. So misses the first, 29-25. Second one on the way off the rim and no good. And Whitegrass rebounds it, gives it up to Brooke Twite. Twite up the left side, gives it over to Esch. Esch looking to drive, brings it out, guarded there by Chapius. Esch over to Kopang. Kopang on the right wing, looking to feed. Finds Brooke Twite. Twite over to Violet Whitegrass. Whitegrass looking to drive. Spin move. And Chapius just had to sit there and let Whitegrass run her over and take the player control foul. She puts up the shot. She gets fouled by Santa Stevens. That's her second and 15th foul. And Violet Whitegrass goes to the line to shoot 2 for Loyola. First shot in and out, no good. Just under 1 minute to go, 59.7 and a 4-point lead for Loyola. Second shot is good. And Barrett with the basketball. Gives it up to Chapius. Chapius up the right side, gives it up to Barrett, top of the key. Out near half court. In the left wing, to Santa Stephen. Out to Barrett. Barrett looking underneath. Looking. Gives it up to Scout Nadeau, knocked away. And Loyola comes up. Esch comes up with the roof. But pass, meant for Kopang's stolen. Sloppy basketball by Santa Stephen, and then loses it. And Beth will come up with the loose ball as Kopang. And Esch will foul Beth in the backcourt as she's all over Beth. So the pass and intercepted meant for Kopang, intercept by Santa Stevens, throws it to Beth. Beth can't handle it, and Twite comes up with it, but then they come down and Kopang turns it over and then fouls Beth. Esch does, and 1-1 for Emma Beth. At the free throw line, off the rim, she gets the shooter's touch, hits the rim off the backboard, front of the rim, and drops for Emma Beth with 21.9 to go. And she'll get one more for the Valkyries. 4-point ball game here. Beth's second shot is up, and this time nothing but the bottom of the net. And a 3-point lead by Loyola, 30-27. I'm not sure what the whistle was about there. Loyola basketball, 21.3 to go. Twite inbounded to Kopang. Guarded there by Kopang. Looking, drives all the way, not stopped. Makes the layup. And quickly in. Santa Stephen. Backcourt, 8 seconds to go. Gives it up. Edgerton, free throw line. Off the rim and no good. Kopang quickly with the rebound. Looking to run out. Throws it long way off the backboard. And no good. 3 quarters complete. It is Loyola, the Breakers 32. And your Bigfork Valkyries 27. So within 5. And the Valkyries are in the bonus. 32-27. On the Bigfork Dental scoreboard. We'll be back with the fourth quarter from Missoula, Montana. All right, we're back here in Loyola. It is Bigfork basketball to start the fourth quarter here in Missoula, Montana. 32-27, the Valkyries trail by 5. And inbound to Audrey Benz. Benz, starting lineup back. Oh, check that. Benz, Beth, Santa Stephen, Edgerton, and Scout Nadeau in the ball game. Out to Benz, top of the key. Beth looking to drive. Is Emma Beth, gives it over to Santa Stephen in the left corner underneath to Edgerton. Edgerton kicks it out. Beth looking. Left-handed drives, gives it over to Santa Stephen on the left wing. Santa Stephen over to Beth. Over. To relay that pass. Ash read that all the way. Gives it over to Kopang. Kopang nearly has it taken away by Beth as she looks to drive. Throws it up, no good. And right there rebounding is Lainey Denning. And puts it back up, but she's fouled. She misses the basket and fouled with 7:18 to go. Denning to the line. Third personal on Emma Beth and the 16th foul on the Valkyries. A little moisture on the floor, making the floor slippery. 7:18 to go. And Valkyries down by 5. Doesn't look like Lainey Walker is coming back. Actually, she is back in the ballgame. So Walker, Kopang, Clevenger, Denning, and Ash, the original starters for Loyola. She makes the first one, does Denning, and 6-point lead for Loyola. 7:18 to go. Second shot off. Hits the rim and falls. And a 7-point lead. Benz inbound to Beth. Beth looks, finds Benz. Benz top of the key over to Beth. Emma Beth looking. Over to Benz. Santa Stephen running the baseline for Bigfork. Benz gives it over to Beth. Gives it over to Edgerton. Edgerton the right wing in the corner to Santa Stephen, out to Beth. Beth looking, drives, gives it over to Benz on the left wing. Kopang guarding Benz. Over to Beth. Beth looking. Dumps underneath. Edgerton, nice pass off the backboard, no good. And Denning will come up with a rebound for Loyola. Quickly up to Kopang. Kopang looking to drive. Benz right there. And a late whistle. They've been letting them play pretty much the whole ball game. I'm not sure what that one's about, but it might be the 5th on Audrey Benz as Kopang drives. That is number 5 on Audrey Benz, their junior defensive stopper for the Valkyries. So she'll go out of the ball game, replaced by Ashton McAnally, who will replace Edgerton, and Chapius will also come in the ball game. Saying 2 shots for Sid Kopang with 6:35 to go. First shot is up and good. 35-27 on your Gilead Painting scoreboard. The Valkyries trail by 8 with 6:35 to go. Kopang, second shot up. Rolls around off the rim, off the backboard, and good. McAdilla inbound to Beth. And 9 points is the difference. Beth, top of the key, give it over to Chapius. Back to Beth, over to Santa Stephen. Got to find some offense. Give it over to Chapius. Looking, gives it over to Beth. Beth, a good drive left side, gives it underneath to McAnally. McAnally out. Santa Stephen's shot partially blocked. Run down there by Scout Nadeau. So give it up to Beth. Beth looking to drive over to Chapius. Chapius, left wing. Tries to get it. And on the floor, held ball between Beth and Clevenger, and Lainey Walker goes down, and she's has to be helped off again as she slipped. That knee might not be so steady right now for the Loyola sophomore. 6:03 to go. 36-27 on your Harvest Food scoreboard. Inbound. Esch gives it up to Kopang. Kopang across the timeline. Gives it up to Denning. Denning looking. Throws it. Trying to hit Clevenger. And Clevenger was cutting back door. And a turnover to Bigfork. 5:54 to go. Santa Stephen inbounding. Edgerton comes back in. Replacing. And they do. And Beth, top of the key. Gives it over to Chapius. Chapius looking. Santa Stephen, three-point shot on the way. Off the rim and no good. Rebounded there by Denning. She'll give it over to Clevenger. Clevenger looks to get over to Natalie, her sister, in the corner to Ash. Ash on the drive. And she's going to be fouled there by Santa Stephen. That's the third on Isabella Santa Stephen, and Kelsey Ash will go to the line to shoot two. First shot up and good. And number 10, Meredith Bedford, will check in. Been out for a while with an injury is Bedford. So she comes in the ball game for the Valkyries with 5:33 to go here in the ball game. Second shot off the rim, no good. Edgerton right there. And she'll get tied up with Maddie Clevenger. And I don't think they changed the arrow last time on that held ball. Loyola got it. Should it be Bigfork? Inbound to Kopang. Kopang looking to drive. Guarded there by Chapius. Out to Denning. Over to Esch. Esch guarded by Bedford. Looking to drive. Puts up a shot. Misses everything. Edgerton comes up with a rebound for Bigfork. Chapius. Across the timeline. She'll bring it out to the top of the key to set things up. And she drags that pivot foot and travels as the freshman Chapius. It'll be turnover by the Valkyries. It'll be Loyola basketball into Kopang. Kopang guarded by Chapius. Over to Denning. Denning on the right wing, looking underneath. Gives it up to Esch. Underneath the Clevenger. And she scores for two and a 12-point lead. 4:51 to go. Quickly up Beth. Top of the key, gives it over to Bedford. Bedford over to Chapius. Back to Bedford at the top of the key. Gives it over to Chapius. Looking underneath. Finds Edgerton. Edgerton looking. Drives. Off the backboard. Too hard, but Beth right there with the rebound. And pushed there by Ash, who's been playing aggressive defense all night long for Loyola. And she'll be called for the personal. And that'll be her fourth 18th foul. And Emma Beth to the line to shoot 1 and 1. Edgerton goes out. Nadeau comes back in. And Emma Beth to the line, 1 and 1. Off the rim and no good. Knocked out, but Santa Stephen comes out with a long rebound. Gives it up to Beth. Beth gives it underneath McInerney. McInerney looking to drive. Off the backboard. She gets fouled. She goes to the line to shoot 2. Lainey Denning, her third personal, 9th team foul. And 2 shots for McInerney. First shot on the way is good by the senior guard for the Valkyries. She'll get one more. Try to pull the Valkyries within 10. Second shot up, nothing at the bottom of the net. And a 39-29 lead, 10-point with 4:25 to go. Into Ash. Ash with the basketball for Loyola. Over to Natalie Clevenger. Clevenger looking to drive. Baseline. Cut off. And a timeout taken by Loyola. It looks like it'll be a 30-second timeout taken by the Breakers. 4:14 to go. 10-point lead by the Breakers. 39-29 on your Montana Athletic scoreboard here from Sister Rita Mudd Activity Center in Missoula, Montana. The Valkyries valiantly trying to fight back. Isabella Santa Stephen not getting any open looks for the Valkyries to drain any threes tonight. Coming up after this, I'll shut down and start a new game as the Vikings will take on the Rams. But stay right here, 4:14 to go. Inbound to Natalie Clevenger from Kopang. Kopang takes it back, looking to drive. Fouls on number 11, Emma Beth. That's an NBA and one. She gets fouled out there. And that's the fourth on Emma Beth. And a 30-second timeout taken by Bigfork. And the 19th foul. I'm not sure about counting the basket. Definitely a foul, but Valkyries trail by 12, 41-29, 4:10 to go here in the ballgame. On your His Biz Paint and Renovate scoreboard, it is 41-29. And Kopang to the line to shoot the N1 as they count the bucket. Shot up and good by Kopang. McInerney inbound to Beth. Beth across the timeline, top of the key. Gives it out to Santa Stephen. Extended. Over to Chapius. Chapius to Beth. Beth gets it under Scout Nadeau. Santa Stephen fakes the three-point shot. Guarded there by Ash. Beth over to Chapius on the left wing. He's going to McInerney. McInerney up. Leaves it short. And Denning comes up with the rebound. Gives it out to Clevenger. Kopang quickly up. Looking to drive is Kopang. Fouls number 21. Madison Chapius, her second and 10th team foul. Two-shot double bonus by Kopang as she goes to the line to shoot two for Loyola. First one is good. And Edgerton will come back in the ballgame for Scout Nadeau. Second shot up, off the rim and no good. Ash runs it down and knocked out of bounds by Beth as it was intended for Kopang, and a good hustle by Emma Beth. Kopang inbound to Natalie Clevenger. Clevenger trying to drive on Chapius, cut off. Sam Clevenger, three-point shot on the way, rebounded there by Chapius. And Chapius will bring across the timeline. Gives it up to Emma Beth. Over to Chapius. Right wing extended. And top of the key to Emma Beth. Fills it out to Santa Stephen. Over to Chapius. Chapius looking underneath. Out to Emma Beth. Top of the key. Gives it up to Edgerton. Chapius looking to drive. Up and under. And she's blocked. Gets the block and puts it back up. And a reverse layup there by Chapius for two. Valkyries within 12. 43-31. On the Bigfork Dental scoreboard with 2:50 to go. Clevenger over to Sister Sam. Three-point shot by Kelsey Esch is good. Inbound to the Beth. Beth, top of the key. Gives it up. McInerney looking to drive. Stolen away by Natalie Clevenger. And looking to drive. She gives it up to Kopang. Kopang loses it out of bounds. Beth goes to try, hustles. Knocks it out of bounds. And a good... nice sportsmanship there by Sid Kopang as she helps up Emma Beth. Loyola just putting on the pressure, making their threes. I don't think Bigfork has had one. Baseline drive by Natalie Clevenger. Scores over Chapius for two. And 2:17 to go, 17-point lead in the corner to Edgerton. Left corner, feeds it out to Chapius. Chapius. McInerney. Top of the key, three-point shot by Isabel Santa Stephen, and they tie it up. A held ball, this time in a ball to Bigfork. Bedford comes in for Chapius, and Whitegrass comes in for Sam Clevenger with 2:01 to go. Inbounded. Santa Stephen gets it to McAnally. Left corner. Santa Stephen looking to drive. Kicks it out to Izzy. Izzy driving. Looks, throws it over to Barrett. Barrett looking to drive on Whitegrass. Throws a late pass to Santa Stephen on the right wing, and Kopang knocks it out of bounds with 1:45 to go. Santa Stephen into Barrett. Barrett looking to drive. Corner. Edgerton. Edgerton underneath to McAnally. Left-handed layup is good by McAnally. 1:35 to go. Clevenger, Natalie, dribbling up, looking. Kicks it over to corner Whitegrass. Out to Esch. Esch will feed it to Denning. Out to Kopang. Kopang guarded by Barrett. Over to Whitegrass. Whitegrass on the right wing. Say that 3 times. Out to top of the key to Clevenger. Clevenger gives it up to Kopang. And a timeout taken by head coach Travis Walker. And looks like it'll be a full timeout. 1:11 to go here in the ballgame between the Valkyries and the Breakers. And the Breakers have a 15-point lead, 48-33 on your Montana Athletics scoreboard. We'll be back rest of the 4th quarter here from Missoula, Montana. All right, welcome back to Missoula, Montana. The Valkyries trailing by 15. And Valiant Everett by Bigfork. It'll be Loyola basketball. And number 4, Molly McHugh gets in. Whitegrass with the basketball, kicks it out to Denning. Also back in is McHugh. Crossover foul there by Bedford. McHugh will go to the line to shoot 2. And number 22, Addison Jacobson in the ball game for Loyola. 2 shots, double bonus, and McHugh makes the first. And she'll get one more with 1:03 to go. Second shot off, no good. Santa Stephen with the rebound, gets it up to Ansley Edgerton. Quickly up to Barrett. Barrett looking to drive. And she'll get fouled and go over the free throw line. Does Emma Barrett. It'll be the 4th personal on Violet Whitegrass and the 10th team foul. And Barrett will get 2. She was shooting anyway. 2 free throws by the sophomore guard. First one up, nothing but the bottom of the net for Bigfork. Both teams in the double ones with 57.4 to go. Barrett will get one more. Off the rim, no good. And rebounded there by Denning. Over to Twite. Twite will get it up. Goes underneath. McAnally steals it away. And then Whitegrass ties her up. As the arrow points towards Loyola. And Jacobson and McAnally tied up. And the officials checking over there. Making sure the arrow is pointing the correct direction. And inbounding is Twite. Or check that, McHugh. Gives it up to Whitegrass. McHugh with the basketball, top of the key. Beth Gardner tight. Over to Whitegrass. Trying to run the clock down. Top of the key. Standing near half court is Whitegrass. She will give it up to Jacobson. Jacobson over to McHugh. Out to Whitegrass. As the clock will wind down. Whitegrass with the basketball. Gives it up to Jacobson. Jacobson takes a couple dribbles. 20 seconds to go. Gives it up. Barrett knocks it out of bounds. Excuse me. As the pass intended for McHugh. She's going to inbound to Whitegrass. Excuse me, I had a cough, so I turned it off. White grass for the basketball, guarded by McIntyre. Stolen away by Edgerton. And Beth. Long three-point shot and away. Off the back of the rim and no good. Your final from Loyola. The Loyola Breakers take it to the Bigfork Valkyries, 49-34. So a 15-point game here. I'll bring you the postgame and your postgame stats here momentarily from Loyola. Sister Rita Mudd Activity Center. I'll be back momentarily with your full game stats. All right, welcome back to Missoula, Montana. And your post game brought to you by Bigfork Harvest Foods. Taking a look at the stats for the Valkyries. Beth with 10, 11 by Ansley Edgerton, 8 for Ashton McAnally, 3 Scout Nadeau, 2 for Madison Tapius. And that's all the scoring for the Valkyries, as they score 34. Leading the way was Edgerton, 10 for Beth, and 8 as the Valkyries take the loss, 49-34. Even without Laney Walker for most of the game. Valkyries played them tough. It was 19-17 at halftime. Thought they had a chance, but Loyola kind of turned it on there. That'll wrap things up from Loyola, Sister Rita Mudd Activity Center. We'll bring the Vikings to you here momentarily. I'm going to shut down and start a new ball game. You can sign into that here momentarily. So this is James LaFontaine. Final. 49-34, the Breakers take it to the Valkyries. Valkyries move to 8-5 on the season, 14-0 for Loyola. We'll catch you momentarily. Thanks for listening to Bigfork Valkyrie Basketball. Thank you and good night.